Good day, this is Thumbs United with our Let's Play of Uncharted 2. This is episode 3, not the game archive. I was going to say that, but it's a lie. Not the game archive, this is the Let's Play. And yeah, let's get into it. So, the last time I was recording, I don't know what was going on. I was feeling kind of sick. But
it has to be here somewhere.
Today I feel better. And anyway, I tried to go to bed early, but then I was watching some YouTube videos and then I checked the clock and it was like, I'm not going to bed any earlier than I normally do. Like I thought it was like 10:40. I checked the time and it was like 11:40. I was like, oh, 11:40. Because it usually takes me a long time to fall asleep. And sometimes it takes like 40 minutes to fall asleep. So I was like, so much for going to bed early. But whatever happened, I mean, it was okay because I woke up like an hour before my alarm and I was like, you know what, I have energy, I'm getting up, I have things to do. And I started my morning stream, which is something new I'm doing. I'm playing around with streaming in the morning. And I got the idea from another streamer. She's a medium-sized streamer. She's like, I can't compete with, you know, the people who stream like at 8 or 9 p.m. because there's like just like so many people. And then I started to notice it. I was like, nobody is streaming online, you know, at like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, or 11. I mean, there's maybe like 5 or 6 people that I follow, and I follow like 120 people who might stream in the morning. But not a lot. So I was like, you know what, I'll start streaming in the morning. And it's the same stream as in the evening, so you can catch it in the morning or in the evening. But I mean, as soon as you said that, like the next day I noticed, like I'm on my phone, I was on my phone watching a video, and then it was like 8:30, and every 2 seconds I got an alert that somebody had gone live on Twitch at 8:30 p.m. and I was like, everyone's online at the same time, and not everyone can watch all these people at once. So that's what really sealed the deal. I was just like, I'm gonna start streaming in the morning. So that happens now. I mean, it doesn't happen regularly. But I'm gonna try to have it happen more often. And then on the weekends I do kind of a gaming marathon. And so once I complete a Let's Play, I kind of add it to the marathon roster. So like Rise of the Tomb Raider, I'll do a marathon on the weekend. And then I usually do like a creative stream marathon or something like that on the weekend.
Bleed out or I'm gonna climb out. Damn it!
And so woke up early. My mom was going to the airport to pick up my sister. So I needed to rent a car to get to school. And the campus is less than 10 minutes away. Well, no, it's exactly 10 minutes away from my house. But there's another campus that's a couple cities over. Supposedly on the navigation it says it's like 17 miles away. Which I mean, it's true, but I guess sometimes, usually I get a ride to go there, and so it feels like longer. But, so anyway, last night I went to the local airport where they have the car rental, and they were like, "Do you want to upgrade?" For like, it was like $3 to upgrade from an economy like compact car to a sedan. So I was like, "Sure, let's upgrade." So we upgraded, and then they were like, "Your car's in 21, is in parking space 21." And so my mom was driving me around. We're looking for parking space 21, and then we're like, "Is that it?" Because they said it was a red car, and it was a red Camaro, and I was like, "Really? That's funny." So that was like quite the upgrade. I thought I was getting something like a Toyota Camry or like a Malibu or something. But no, it was a Chevy Camaro. And my mom was like, "Are you sure you want to drive this?" And I was like, "Yes." And so I got in the car, and first thing I noticed, I mean, the interior is really cool. Almost feels like a tank, and that was one of the first things I noticed about driving the Chevy Tahoe, is that the interior design is kind of, it just feels like kind of rugged and more tank-like, and kind of feels almost like it's the Batmobile inside. Especially if you get a car with like a lot of features. And so that was surprising. But the other thing is, like, the windows are tiny. I don't even think they're a foot high. They're just like little slits on the side, and then in the back the window's even smaller. So there's so many blind spots, and then the mirrors are like really small. They need to be bigger and farther out, because the rear of the car kind of has like these hips that go out out and kind of around the wheels, and it's so wide that it like blocks a lot of what you can see behind you. So that's weird.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Then I got comfortable and adjusted the seat and everything. I was like, really can't see behind me or to the side that well. So I'm creeping out of the parking lot, and then I decided to take the long way home, just because I wanted to see how it drove. And it's a fun car, but yeah. The other thing, like compared to my Mini, it was I still prefer the Mini a little bit to the Camaro, because the Camaro would do this thing where it would hit a bump and it would like not overcorrect, but it would like kind of twist to the side, and it was just like, it did it all the time. Like almost every bump it would just kind of wiggle a little bit, and so it didn't really feel safe. And then the other thing was that
does anyone speak English?
the other thing was that well, one, the pedals are very sensitive, so you just lightly tap it and you're going 40 miles per hour. And so then I'm driving, and it's in this business district, and then so then I just like push it gently, just to go a little bit faster. The speed limit was 45, but I was going 40, and so then all of a sudden the engine goes from essentially idle to it turns into this giant monster where it's like rah, and then it's gonna like, it was just like, dear Lord, there's no in between. The threshold with the pedals is so low that it seems like it's either idling and you're going relatively fast, or you're have the engine like revving up to higher RPMs and just it wants to take off. So in some ways, one of the things after driving it the first time is just like, I understand now. This thing's kind of like a death trap. Like, I'm a responsible driver, but I could very much see like younger person or irresponsible driver. It doesn't have to be, but like a testosterone junkie getting in this car, you easily see them like dying, flipping the car, or just driving it, or like rolling out of control. I mean, you have to be really responsible with this car. And but I did enjoy it, and
Hey kids, I see you.
I was kind of thinking, maybe when I'm like a middle-aged dad or something, I'll get a Camaro, but it was a surprise. Like, I knew I liked the new design of it, but I've just never been in one. It was fun to drive. They always advertise with muscle cars, the sound and the loudness, and that was something I tried to be conscious of, because the car
Just
is
when I thought I had
really
nothing
quiet
left to
inside.
lose.
Like, you can hear the engine
Oh, thank God
revving
you're
up a little bit,
alright.
but I've been around
sorry,
like the same year
It's
of Camaro,
Elena,
like
tell me you
walking
have
outside.
some idea of what's going
And so
on.
it
How
is.
long have I
It's
been
loud to everyone
Hey,
else
only a few days.
outside the car, which is
I
ironic.
followed the tracks to
And
the
so
wreckage.
I didn't
What
want
the
to
hell
like
happened?
blast people as I'm
You're
driving
right
into
about
school.
Chloe.
But then
Turns out
the
she
engine
wasn't
does this
exactly
funny
looking to be
thing
rescued.
where
Wait, did
like,
she do
No,
that?
you
I
come,
have Flynn to
just,
thank for
you'll
this.
be at a stop, and then you're coasting,
Yeah,
and then you give it a little more,
Susan.
bit more gas after
on,
you
there's
come
somebody
away,
who's
and you're
anxious
still
to meet you.
coasting away from the stop, and then it does like this, like almost hiccup. And it's not quite a backfire,
Our
but
mysterious
it's almost
guest
like a
awakes.
misfiring. And it's like, that's weird,
Nate, this is Carl Schaefer.
but
How are you feeling?
Good. Thanks.
that's
Good,
something.
Please, sit.
I mean, it's interesting. It's a
It
different engine.
appears you and I have much in common, Mr. Drake.
Is that so?
Yes. 70 years ago, I came here just like you.
And the other thing is, it's
Carried
kind of
into
a
the
heavier
village
car.
near death. The last
So-
survivor of my company. I was hired to lead an
I mean,
expedition into
There is
Tibet
kind of
to
a delay
find,
before it,
the
it
entrance
takes
to
off and
Shambhala.
everything. But
what they really
it
wanted.
still,
was the
takes off
Chintamani
faster
stone.
than the SUV. I
So,
I
my
occasionally
friend,
drive a Tahoe,
where did you
and
find
that thing you have
this?
to like press the gas like halfway down,
Borneo.
and then
Why?
like it revs up and decides
This
to
is
go.
the key to
But
Shambhala.
It's the one
with
object
this one, it's
your opponent
you press the pedal
desperately
like just a
needs,
little
even if he
bit,
does not know it
and
yet.
then like I'm always
Oh,
afraid
I
I'm
think
gonna
he
take
knows.
off, and it's
Look, I'm
funny
very
because like
grateful
I'll
for
be at a
everything you've
stop
done for
line.
me. I really
Stop
am,
sign,
but
and
I'm
there'll be
through
like a
with all this.
minivan next to me,
So,
and then the light turns green, and I'm
They
like
have beaten
gently
you, huh?
easing into the gas pedal,
your quest is
and the
over.
minivan next to me
Yeah,
takes off like a
that's
board,
right.
and they're looking at me.
What if it's only
Because I'm in a
beginning?
Camaro, and the other joke of
Where
it
did you
is
find this guy?
it's a bright red Camaro.
Trust me, young man,
And
your
they're
ego will mend.
You know,
You're
why is this
just
guy
lucky to
driving
be
so?
alive.
Yeah,
I am
people are
probably
always
the
telling me how lucky
slowest
I am. The
Camaro
truth is,
driver
everything
there
I
is.
touch turns to shit.
Nate.
No,
What?
Elena, I'm done. Now, come on, I'm through playing the hero.
Your adversary will not give up so easily. He will not stop until he possesses the thing he desires.
Oh, yeah? Well, more power to him.
Power is precisely the problem. Some of
say-
the
but it
most
is a fun
fearsome
car to drive
rulers
in.
through history
Yesterday when I
have
got it, I was
possessed
like, I have to.
only a fragment.
I was
of
gonna
the
do some like
Chintamani
extra
stone.
driving around
Men
just to
like
see how it goes,
Tamburlaine,
but
Genghis
it was
Khan.
raining today, and so I went
If a
to
mere
school.
sliver could
and I
bestow
drove through the
such
city,
power, what
to the
would a man
college,
become
and
if he
it was a nice
possessed the
drive,
stone itself?
and then had the first class in the computer
is
class,
crazy.
and then
It's
the
got
whole
to
time I
be
was
what he's
excited
after, Nate.
Then
because
Lazarevich really is a nut job. He's chasing
driving
a
to
myth.
the next
And what
class
if he's
at the other
not?
building,
Elena, come on.
I mean, what if it's true?
it was like a 20-minute,
We've seen what he's
25-minute
capable
drive,
of.
so it's
I
like, yeah, I'm
understand
going
your
down the
doubt.
freeway.
You
This
require
is gonna be
proof.
great, and
Something you can see
what
with
was
your
nice
own
is that
eyes.
the freeway was like completely
Tente.
clear the whole time,
Tinsanantara Tingonre.
and you really have to watch this car because
Find the
like
remains of my expedition.
I'd be going
and
like
you will have
68,
your proof.
69 miles per hour,
Tenzin
and then
will
I
guide
just
you.
look at the road, and all of a sudden it's creeping up to like 75, and I was like, okay, I gotta sit down, but you don't really notice it. And again, with bumpy roads, it does feel like it shifts its position a little bit. Also
If I
feels
live to
like
regret this.
the steering is really sensitive.
Just come back
So-
in one piece.
You are not fighting the steering wheel a lot, but there is a lot
Don't
of
suppose
feedback
you
from the
speak any
steering wheel
English, do you,
from
pal?
little bumps. And so the funny thing is, I get to the other place
looks
where
inviting.
my art class is.
What's it
And
say?
I get there, I park, and I make sure I was like, I don't want to park next to the
Why
teacher
do
or
I
anything.
ask?
Don't want her to think I'm driving around muscle cars all day long. But
not
not
so
that
good with
there's
charades,
anything wrong with that, but it's just it's kind of funny. And so I
Wait.
look around. Oh, and one, I go to park,
Tenzin,
and
why do you
this
need
car
that?
backs out, so I stop and let it back out. And then there's a car I'm in front of. This guy gets in his car and just starts reversing, and he's about to hit me because I'm letting this other car out. And it was funny because I kept tapping the horn, like pressing it, but you have to like punch the horn for it to go out. So I'm like tapping it to give it a light beep, and it was just like, oh my goodness, the horn's not going off. I'm gonna get
No way we're getting
smashed in the
across there.
parking lot. But I just hammered
got
it
there?
in there, and it worked. And that was something funny. And even with me hammering it, it did that like double honk, like you barely touched it. I was like,
That's
oh,
almost
my goodness.
impossible to. Oh, you did.
That's something you have to research when you get in the car. How much force it needs to
across on
honk
the
the
70-year-old rope.
horn. So I almost got in a car accident with a
you know
rental
where
car.
you're
That would have
going,
been
buddy.
terrible. And just me, sitting parked in the parking lot. But anyway, so I found a parking spot, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. And it was like kind of far away from everyone. And then the second I parked, somebody parked next to me. So I was like, please don't scratch this car.
Exactly.
And
That's
then,
what I was thinking.
so after that, get in, have class. Class finishes, and get out. I'm sitting in the navigation to get home on my phone. And then all these cars leave because all the students left. And then in front of me and to the side, like 2 cars to the side, is my teacher's car. And I'm like, oh no, that's too funny. And then I had taken so long getting the car warmed up and setting the navigation that, she was in the car. I didn't know that at the time. But, and so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to creep on past. So I crept forward, and I go to turn out of the parking lot. And then she's behind me, and I'm like, uh-oh. And so she followed me home like 50% of the way. And not following me, but I was like,
That
okay.
way. Sure.
You have
Those
to
things bite,
behave.
you know.
Don't want to scare the teacher or anything. But so that was funny. So now she's probably thinking, oh, this guy Lloyd's driving muscle cars and blah blah blah. Macho old man. But, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the car, but I still enjoyed the Mini Cooper a little bit more. But it is a fun car. And then computer classes, it's going well. We stopped
Hey, what's the
taking
big
apart
hurry?
computers. I mean, not taking them apart. But
Hello.
what we used to do in class was we have to troubleshoot the computer. And so then the
These are
teacher would show
snowboots,
us
not
what to
track
do. And
shoes.
we'd go step by step and break the computer. And then we had to
More wolves. Fantastic.
follow her steps, and she'd show us like how to fix it. So we would like move
find?
key operating system components
Dead a
and be
long
like,
time.
well, why doesn't it boot? And then we replace them. It's like, oh, it's
Shit,
booting,
Damani
but it
stuff.
still has a problem.
Must
Blah,
have
blah,
been one
blah,
of
blah.
Schaefer's men.
And then the teacher likes to lie. Do you think that will fix the problem? So we go through all these steps, and then it turns out it doesn't fix the problem. So it's like, oh. And then she's like, that's because this was supposed to happen, but Windows doesn't do anything it's supposed to do. Blah, blah, blah. And then we have to learn the real way to fix it. But we stopped doing that, and so now we're just doing more lectures.
Tenzin, come on. All right, I'll give you a boost.
And so,
What?
and so we finished another module,
Still don't
which meant we're supposed to get a test today, due this weekend. They're take-home
You
tests,
first, huh?
and supposedly open book.
Okay.
But they're like long. You have an hour to do it, but they're 50 questions each, and they're all multiple choice. And I mean, they're really tricky, the questions. But we were supposed to have a test, and then she was like, you know what, I'm not giving you a test for Thanksgiving. And I was like, what? Because I wanted to get it done over Thanksgiving, and we're getting close to the end of the semester, and that means we'll have like 2 tests due in December, and we've been doing pretty much 1 test a month, but a lot of the students were like complaining we got a test over Thanksgiving. And I was like, let's do it, and get it over with. But the teacher was like, okay. And then she asked, you know, does anyone want to come play? Raise their hand. And then I almost raised my hand, but I was like, no. And then she was like, that's what I thought. But then the other thing is, like, I pay attention in class, and on our computers we can follow along with the PowerPoint on our computer or on the projector. And I just do it on the computer because it's easier for my eyes. I mean, on the computer because it's easier on the eyes. And now she does this thing where she's talking, and then like mid-sentence she'll start yelling. It's just like, I kind of noticed it before.
I'll catch you.
But now it's getting kind of funnier because she's like, you wouldn't do this in
There you go.
in an enterprise environment. What? Yeah. It's just like, I guess she's trying to wake up the people that aren't paying attention in class. But she's doing it more often now, so that's kind of funny. But I'm just like, oh my goodness. And then I'm afraid she's gonna like yell at somebody. You know, what did I just say? Because she keeps accusing the class of not paying attention. She's like, you guys aren't even listening to me, are you? And she's like, of course you're not. And everyone's like, what do we say? And then, the other thing, she's starting to insult her intelligence. like we'll be in class, like the Tuesday class that we had the weekend, and she's like, okay, we're gonna do this and this and this, and then she's like, but you guys don't know how to do that. And we're like, why? And she's like, because it only happened last week and you guys don't remember anything from last week. She's like, ha ha ha. And I'm like, oh my goodness. She's trying to burn us. But that's kind of funny.
What the hell was that?
Mira cómo son.
Yeah.
And then
Did this?
my morning class is the
This,
computer
what did
class,
this?
and I got there early. I left right at 10:30 from my house, so I got there at
Come
like
on.
10:45.
Tenzin, we gotta get
And
moving.
the one guy was talking with the whole class, but I don't know, he talks in like a weird way. Well, not weird, but he definitely, like, he has a conversation and he asks other people like not questions, but essentially to like agree with him, and like his way is the only way,
What was that?
right way of thinking, and he's essentially like lecturing everyone on what to think. It's kind of like know-it-all-ish
All right. Just stay
and whatnot. But today, the subject was Justice League. And he starts telling everyone like what's wrong with DC and everything, and blah blah blah. And it's funny because like some of the points, you know, are right that he has about DC. I haven't seen Justice League yet, but he starts going on about how much better Marvel was and this and that and everything. And then he starts talking about how Marvel should buy DC and Warner Bros. Should go out of business. And I was like, that's a little too much.
Shit.
And just non-stop complaining. And then, what was it? I forgot. But, oh, and then he starts, you know, talking about how much he loves Deadpool. And, like, I enjoyed Deadpool too, but, I don't know, just the things he enjoyed about Deadpool and the way he described it was kind of like cringy. It's just like, those aren't like good qualities to like Deadpool for. So he starts bragging about how he likes the misogyny and the sexism and all this stuff, and it's just like, you know, I wouldn't brag about that, and I definitely don't hold those views at all. But I mean, the fact that he felt comfortable enough saying that like out loud to the whole class is
Schaefer
just
says
like,
hello.
wow.
Let's hope this is loaded.
And he started talking about how he wished, you know, some of the other comic book movies are like more from the 80s and stuff. And he movies best, they didn't care about anything. You know, and they were okay with being sexist and everything, and I was like, dear Lord. You know, who is this guy sitting next to me?
What is this thing?
So that was that's a fun way to start your day, but it's just, I don't know.
The hell was that?
Sometimes I worry about the population. When I was born and I had 3 sisters, so I'm like, I'm more aware than I guess other dudes are
Come here. I'll boost you up there.
about like some of the creepiness that people say and everything.
How am I gonna get up there?
One thing, I'm all for like, equal treatment of women, but I feel like a lot of guys just forget, you know, and it's gonna sound horrible, but you know, they're people, you know, and they don't act like it a lot of the times, and it's disgusting and gross. But it's just like, this guy obviously hasn't really socialized that much, either with a lot of people or with people of like the opposite sex from him. But it's really an eye roller.
How am I gonna get up there?
And in other news, I finished editing the blog post for the extended collection, and it's on Photations.com. That's
These guys are dropping like flies.
PHOTATIONS.com. I almost got lost spelling that. One, I'm dyslexic, so spelling's really hard. But and you can just Google Photations and it would come up. But yeah, it's under the life photography blog, and it's gonna be posting one today. So there will be quite a few from the extended collection already out when once this airs. But you can also go to the Photation store, and you can navigate to the extended collection. You can see all the photographs there. They're available to buy too if you want. But you can look at them. And then yeah, so that's nice. Nice because it's like they're all pre-programmed to release and come out on their own. And that's kind of a problem I have, where I'll do a ton of work with like blog posts and everything, and then I'll set them to come out, and then they start coming out, and then essentially the queue finishes. It's like, sometimes I forget
That'll work.
that the queue finishes. So it's like a week where there's no extra content from that one blog. So I'm definitely trying to get better with that. I'm doing more blog posts and coming out more reliably and everything. Like right now I have 3 blogs going simultaneously on Photations. And then I talked about this earlier, but in a previous Let's Play, but I redid on the Photation store. I redid the Master of Art monthly galleries, and the galleries, they show all the photographs that are in each chapter of each magazine of the Master of Art monthly. And then it's nicer now because now there's like a link and it can take you directly to the magazine issue, and they're all printed to order, and they're printed to order like all year round. So you can buy June edition in like May or in winter. Once they're released, they're always going to be available, and they're printed to order. So that's a nice thing. But and so I have it organized by magazine,
Attention.
and
Stand on that other
then
switch.
I have, on top of that, I have each photograph animation short film for each chapter that I was releasing on YouTube. And so that's there, so you can see if you're in like chapter 2 of the June edition, which was Manhattan. You can see all the photographs, and then you can watch the short film of the photographs from that chapter. So it's just, everything's getting kind of more centralized and in one place. And then the magazine, there's 2 ways you can get the magazine. One is you can buy a physical copy, and the physical copy is printed on high quality paper. It's not like magazine paper, it's a lot better than that. It's like photo paper. It's a semi-gloss, so it's like a pearl. And so what that means is it's part glossy, but it's a little bit textured, and it's really one of my favorite ways to print, because there is still some reflection, but it's not like a glaring reflection. It just kind of sparkles. The photographs sparkle a little bit. And so it's printed on high quality photo paper. You can get it that way. And then there's also the digital version, and that's on the Amazon Kindle. And that one's kind of unique because it's the collector's edition. It's series 1. And so it's all 4 magazines combined into one really large book. And there's like a ton of photography, and it's really dense. And then there's not much words. I mean, there's about maybe 2,000 to 3,000 words, and each
Bet I could climb those.
each
They were a little lower.
magazine only has like 1,000 to 2,000 words in each issue. And but the collector's edition, I did this feature that the Amazon books did, where it's like if you have a digital comic book, I created the ebook to be very much like that, so that it has like kind of the animated panes where you can zoom in on each photograph in the page, and then
Pull that
you
switch.
just tell it next page, and it will automatically switch to the next photograph. So it's really like watching a digital slideshow, and I think that really brings out the photography even better. And the great thing is, because it's digital, it's the price. There's a price reduction, so you can get the Master of Art Collector's Edition on the Kindle, and it's on. You can get it on the iPad, the iPhone, and anything that can run the Kindle app. You might even be able to get it on the Kindle, but I have it enabled for that. But I don't know if they let it. But it's $2.99, and then if you have the Kindle Unlimited, where you get to, it's like Prime for ebooks, but it's a little bit, it costs a little extra. It's like $10 a month, but if you have that, then you can download the Master of Art Collector's Edition for free. And then, in terms of gaming, I haven't beat Destiny yet. I really want to, but I'm worried that I'm gonna start. I'm like level. I think I'm like level 20, and I don't know how long. I'm definitely not done with the main story, and I haven't gotten to any of the DLC, like the Taken King and whatnot, and or the Rise of Iron, and I don't know, I keep meaning to start playing it, but then something will happen where, well, like the other week I installed Destiny, and I was like, I'm gonna play a ton of this, and then the internet didn't work for 2 weeks. I was like, so I uninstalled it in those 2 weeks. But then the other thing is, like, I don't know how long they're gonna keep the Destiny 1 servers going. I mean, I hope it goes like really long, like as long as Halo 2 went. But yeah, and the other reason why I kind of stopped playing Destiny is because I'm running out of storage space. I was capturing kind of for a Let's Play series, and like I said, I got up to level 20, and my hard drive's almost full. Because I'm the episodes, these Let's Play episodes are getting even longer. I'm just starting to record like 2 hours now for each episode, or I believe for when I do the GTA 5 series, that one's like, it's 30 episodes, and each one's like 2 hours and 45 minutes. So they're gonna get a lot longer. Yeah, I don't know, I'm getting worried. one, I thought I got such a good deal on Destiny 1 because I got it for like $15, and like this is how shady some retail stores are. They had a box. I mean, they had the glass window where they keep all the games, and Destiny there. Same game I'm gonna purchase, but Destiny, you know, behind the glass shelves, that one cost $50. I was like, what? So I was like, you know, I don't want to spend $50. And so I thought I'd, you know, go get a different game, like maybe like a Telltale game or something. And so I go to like the $20 or under, and I'm like, huh.
Sure, Tenzin. Take the easy way.
And so I found a couple of games, and then I was like, I guess I'll get 2 games and spend like $15. I mean $30. And then so I go even further, and there's like this $20 bin, and there's Destiny, same exact game with all the DLC packs and everything. And I was like, what? So I got it for $20, and that's kind of a deal because at the time, if you bought it on the Microsoft store, the Xbox Game Store, it's still selling for like $50 at the time. It was still selling for $50 or $60. And then they had like these bundles where you could get Modern Warfare and Destiny for like $70. I was like, oh, thank you. I mean, I don't have anything against Modern Warfare. Oh no, it was Advanced Warfare. I don't have anything against Advanced Warfare. It's just like, I'm not paying $70 for it. It's kind of old at this point. But yeah, so if you're in a retail store and you're looking for video games, just look around the store. Sometimes the exact same game they'll have at like a highly reduced price. At like some other section.
Pull the switch on your side.
Yeah.
Great, now how am I gonna get across?
So Destiny's on my to-do list, but I've been wanting to get back into Batman Arkham Knight. I beat it, and it was a fun game, but the problem is, like, so I beat it, and there's still challenges you can do, but I've gotten to the point in like almost all the challenges where
Get over there somehow.
they're starting to get not fun,
Guess I'm doing
because
it
they're getting like, there used to be like multiple ways you could beat a challenge. And like there's some arenas where you can just kind of like brute force your way through. And yeah, you'd lose health, but like just based on how you do your combat, you could win still. And so now it's getting to the point where it's like there is one way you can, you know, take out this group of enemies, and only one way, and you have to figure it out because the game's not going to tell you. So that part's like getting not fun. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop playing. And so then a couple weeks later, I went back and just started from the beginning again. I started a new save slot, and started over from the beginning, and that was great. You know, I loved starting over but one of the things I didn't like is like the tutorial missions is like, there's a lot of it. Like it's just like the first 5 or 6 missions, they're still teaching you how to play the game, and so that part's kind of like, I know, skip, and but it's still a lot of fun. But the problem is I'm like 40% through with the game, and I'm like, when I'm at one part where I don't like, and it's when you have to just start going into the airships and whatnot. I just feel like that level's too long and I don't really enjoy it. And so I don't know if I'm gonna go back to that save, and half of me just wants to start over again. But one of the things I noticed in Batman is just like, Batman is just like, he's so busy, you know? Like, everybody, all the villains want his attention, and they all want it at the same time. You know, it's not so much that Gotham is like terrible and has all these villains. It's like all these villains want Batman's attention there. And I remember I was doing another mission, and then Joker comes on over the city PA, and he's like, "You have to fight me, Batman. We have to do this. Blah blah blah. Just come see me now." And she's like, "There are too many missions." And so, I mean, I like that because there's a lot of replayability in Batman. But it was at that point I was just like, "Stop! I have to finish this. You know, this one mission. I don't want to deal with you, Joker. I mean, not Joker, Riddler." And then, kind of with photography, I finally started getting back to the parks and shooting all the fall leaves, which was like just in time. I mean, I would have liked to gone to a couple more parks, like new parks, but I'm happy with what I did. And like, I was starting to get like so worried. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do it, but with school and then my part-time job and then working at home, like pretty much video editing, it was just, I didn't have any free time. And then what's terrible is it's not just daylight savings, it's the fact that it's winter, but the sunlight has just been terrible. I mean, it's either been raining or thunderstorming, and then the sun sets at like 6 o'clock. Now it's starting to set at 5 o'clock. And so it was just, whenever I was free to do it, they just, you know, the weather wasn't cooperating or the sun was down. It's like, can't take pictures at night. I mean, you can, but not the kind of photos I was trying to take. So I finally got that done. And kind of on a different note, today was my last day of class. We have a holiday break. It's not very long. It's technically only 2 days, but because of one of the days I have classes, I'm done for the week today. So I'm like having a party. Came home. It was 3 o'clock. I made a cup of coffee, and I wanted to party so much that I even added sugar to my coffee. I've been avoiding sugar recently. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to celebrate. So yeah, I'm planning on staying up tonight, either editing more or playing some video games. I don't know, I'm just going to have fun. And then my sister's back, so we can talk and do fun things. And yeah, looking forward to it. Before I used to say I have Friday night on Thursday, but now it's like Friday night on Tuesday. But then, so Friday night on Tuesday, you know, you hope that, you know, none of the teachers assign homework. The one computer teacher took the test and said, you know what, it's not going to be due over Thanksgiving break. We'll do it the next week. That was nice. But then the art teacher, one, we had a paper we had to write, and we usually don't get a lot of homework in art class. So one, we had an art paper due today. And now we have another art project due the Tuesday after Tuesday next week. So we still have homework over break. No. Not only that, we're gonna have to do a public presentation of our paper in class. I was like, oh, something extra to worry about. And so there's that. And then on top of all that, we still have a final project. Getting a lot of homework and projects to do. And so we have like maybe 7 or 8 different choices of. This is separate. This isn't due next week. This is due in a couple of weeks. We have 3 weeks to do it right now. And so we have like 7 different things we can do. And I've decided I'm gonna make a video just because I love animating and editing. And so yeah, I'm gonna make
Let's
like,
hope there's another
it's
way
supposed
out
to
of
be a
here.
short video, so I don't think I'm gonna have a problem, but it's supposed to be like a short,
Drake,
not documentary. I'm gonna make it a documentary, but
This must be them.
just about an artist either when
Schaefer's
we talked about
expedition.
class or didn't talk about in class. We had to tell about their art, their style, a little bit about themselves. So I'm looking forward to that.
Shintamani stone.
And half of me says, you know what, I'll do the art, do the project, and then I'll like post it on Flotations. I'm starting another section of Flotations, where the Flotations, if you didn't know, used to be called the Master of Art, and the goal was
Look at this.
there's going to be a blog talking about all these different things you could do so that you could, you know, master art and become
These men were all
the
shot.
master of art yourself.
Tata,
And so it was really going to be a blog of like how-tos and all this stuff. But then I started doing more with like
that's the,
animation and
Irman Sul.
slideshows
It's a life
and
tree.
photography. And so then that's when I decided to change the name to
Oh, nearby.
Flotations. But I still have the domain,
Oh,
the
Jesus.
Master of Art. So
They were SS.
I decided, you know,
Ultimatum.
I'm going to create another set of
Nazis.
subblogs. And that one will be just about art appreciation, art theories, and things like that. And so I have to write it. I'm going to start writing a ton more. And I want to get it to the point where I get a blog post
What would a
of
man
featuring an
become?
artist or an artwork once a week coming out.
Tenzin. Schaefer did this.
And so I'm thinking maybe that will be like
Schaefer
one of the first
killed
things
them.
I release is
Yes.
this video project
the
I'm
only way to
doing for
stop
art
them.
class. I can, you know, release it on the Master of Art sublog.
Shit. We have to find a way out of here. Now.
So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't decided who I'm going to do. Half of me wants to do a photographer. So I'm thinking either like Richard Avedon or
Hey, there's a
or
switch.
Ansel Adams. Part of me wants to do Andy Warhol, but some of his work I don't really like. Which is funny because probably his most popular work is the work I don't like, and some of his most like not hated, but definitely unpopular and less well known
Gotta get
work
the hell
is
out of here.
the stuff I really like. He did this series which I wanted to do for VR, but I want to shoot in VR. A similar kind of series, but his series was he just filmed people and used black and white film, and I mean they're really well lit, but they're just doing one thing. So one of the videos was like a person brushing their teeth, but the lady brushing her teeth wasn't just brushing her teeth for like 2 minutes or whatnot. Whatever they say. I think they say something like ridiculous, like you're supposed to brush your teeth for 2 or 3 minutes. But no, this lady's brushing her teeth, you know, kind of looking to the side of the camera for like 10 to 15 minutes. And it's just funny things, like every day. like everyday activities, which is repeated for a really long time. And so that was kind of a cool series. I don't want to do exactly like that. Kind of my plans for shooting in VR. What I want to do is more like this kind of multicam experience where the viewer really gets to choose which camera they want to look through, and you just have scenes acted out, but not so much not with like camera angles that are shot to be like more cinematic, but just like if you imagine if you had like security cameras in the room, just make it feel like you're somebody in the scene, not a camera following the characters, and not with like close-up shots or medium shots. Essentially, it being like all wide angle shots and from a fixed point. But with the VR, the way I kind of do it, there would be like multiple fixed points you can choose from VR. And I'm not the first person to think of this. Originally, when the DVDs came out, the big thing that they advertised was like, oh, creators will get to show you alternate angles and extra camera shots from the same scene. And so there was a feature, and it's still in DVDs, where you can press this button like to change the angle, and what's supposed to happen is that there would be you could literally change the angle of what was happening on what you were watching in whatever scene it would still be lined up. Nobody does that for DVDs because it would take so much more extra data,
I don't know.
Oh,
and it's a lot of extra work.
Schaefer's got her.
I mean, some people occasionally
Mo
do.
Schaefer and Yum Dudu. They went the other way.
All right,
Nate, this is our fault. We did this.
just stay here and keep them safe. Come on.
And so that's kind of what I would like it to be like. But instead of selecting a button to shoot, what I want to do is have it
Get back inside!
where
Get
it's
inside!
not shot with VR cameras, but it is shot with like wide angle cameras. And I want the camera views to be kind of placed in a VR environment, so like you could, like the default view, you can look straight out, and that's like camera 1, and then you look to your right, and that's the view for camera 2. Or you look further to your left, and that's camera 3, and then behind you is camera 4. And so I really want like an immersive experience where you can just turn your head and you can see different video streams of the same event. So that's kind of what I want to do. And then still have a story and whatnot. But that's like way down the line.
Bring it on!
And then, so the rental car have I was driving a little extra. I took the long way home. Kind of went to more of the neighborhood than we really have to in order to get to my house. And no, I hit this one stick and it terrified me. This is not really the story I'm going to tell. I hit this one stick and it sounded like I hit an animal. And I was like, oh my goodness. But no, it was just a stick. I went back and checked and I was like, oh, that's terrible. But the car is like, it's not so much that it's so low to the ground, but the tires kind of fit so closely with the exterior body. And that, I mean, you hit one thing and it sounds like it's the end of the world. And it was just a stick. And it's funny. It's kind of a side story. With my Mini Cooper, I was driving it and I got a stick stuck in the wheel. It wasn't really stuck in the wheel. It was just stuck in the chassis and on the ground. So every time, anywhere you go, you could hear like the stick scraping on the ground. And then if you turn the wheel to the side, you could hear it like hit it like it was one of those cards in a bicycle wheel. And you just go. And so that was funny. And so it didn't last very long. I just went to a parking lot and then pulled the stick out. But I thought that was funny. Because when it first happened, I thought, oh no, I owned the car for like 2 weeks and I was like, did I break it? But no, I didn't. But the Camaro has the same problem where things kind of get stuck underneath. And then too, like I said, it was just like a little stick, but it sounded like I shredded something. And so then I'm driving home and I'm going slow. I'm going like 20 miles an hour. And the thing about the Camaro that's kind of nice is it cruises well. I mean, once it's cruising, it will like stay at a kind of steady speed. And then a squirrel jumped out in front of me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" First, I thought maybe I ran over like a opossum, and that's just a possum, or like a small cat or something. But no, it was a stick. Now it's just like it's just like this squirrel. He just wanted to die. He jumped in front of me, and so I didn't see him on the side of the road. So I think he made it. But it's just like this car is just seriously trying to kill everything. But that's not the point. The point was I came around to the back of my house, and our neighbors, they have like their side of their property, and then there's our side of the property. And I just did the leaves last week, sucked up all the leaves with the lawnmower, and came back this week. Looks like I didn't do anything. The whole area, there's just like a ton more leaves. So I was like, this is kind of nice, because I thought, you know, my job gardening and doing lawn work was like coming to an end, or like had ended. But now it's like, I got jobs secured. Because not only do I have to collect all the leaves, I still have to bag them. And that's a whole nother process. Because what I do is I collect the leaves, put them in a pile, and I collect them for like a week from different places, and then I just start bagging. And doing that, I mean, it's easier for bagging to just do it all at once, but then you get like 30 to 40 lawn bags just filled with leaves, and they're all heavy. So looks like I'm still gonna be in business. I'm not worried about winter so much because I'm gonna start cleaning houses and things like that. I'm gonna be a housekeeper instead of a gardener. And so that was like, it was funny because I was like, yeah, I got a ton more work to do. Gotta get up those billable hours. So that's something to look forward to. And I really like working outside. I mean, I like it so much more than working inside. Working on the computer is fine. I enjoy it, but I still have to take breaks where I like every like 30 minutes I have to get up from the computer and walk around or something because I just get, I don't know, my legs get like just have to stretch. But working outside is great. It's just the time goes by so much faster. And even like when I was working in retail, just being up on your feet and going around everywhere, it's just like, oh my goodness, you know, 4 hours went by, 2 hours went by, It's just time goes by so much faster. Oh, and then we got this shipment, and it's not really like a shipment. We got this package, and my mom saw this I guess it's like it's made out of cauliflower, but it's like a pizza crust, but it's super thin. And so the big deal is that it's gluten free. And it's free of a lot of stuff. And so I took tomato sauce, and the one I had was like some herb and garlic mixed in with, and it's a crust. It's really thin. It's almost like a quesadilla because it's kind of floppy. But then I baked it, and I put just marinara tomato sauce on it, and then I added some Parmesan cheese, and I put goat cheese, and then I added some black olives. And so that was, I mean, it tasted pretty good. I cooked it for like 20 minutes, but the problem was I put too much tomato sauce on it. So it was kind of, it wasn't that it was like soggy, but it was kind of, it wasn't crispy, and I was hoping to get it crispy.
What? Holy shit! Oh crap! Jump! Jump!
Why would he bring a tent?
Yeah, it tasted good. I liked it a lot. I wasn't quite a pizza, but it was close. Kind of weather with the sunset way too early. It's not even winter yet. It's just red before winter outside. Yeah, I just feel like I wake up earlier. I wake up at like 7. We go at 7, we go at 8. And I just feel like get work done, and I work in the basement. And I come up, and it's just like, sun already set, day's over. And then I look, and it's just like, it's 5:30 now. And then working outside is just like, can't work to 7 or 8 at night because the sun's gone down. It's down by 6, but like the sun is setting and it's getting dark at like 5:30. And I just can't believe how short the day is. And it's funny because not only is the day short, but in general the days have been going by really fast. And I feel like every time like I do all the work I want to do, and then all of a sudden it's just like I'm in bed. And she's like, man, the whole day went by so fast. Every time I'm in bed, I was like, I was just here. It feels like 2 seconds ago, there was the whole day.
Supposed to take a tank out. Oh shit. RPG.
Dinesh, Hey, không có sợ.
Go. No.
And then the other came up. I'm kind of playing with the idea of playing through again. Again, it's kind of a requirement if I want to capture the gameplay and record it to do a let's play. But, I want to play through Mass Effect Andromeda again. And I know that game got a lot of hate, and I understand why. Like on the surface, some people think it deserved it, but they fixed it really fast, like all the animation bugs. Some of it has problems, still has problems, but they're not as bad. When you think about it, I mean, maybe there's 4 minutes of the whole game that has a bug. Like if you combine them all together, but there's like 60 hours of gameplay and like 30 hours of 30 hours of like of animation. Yeah, I mean that game, it was good, and I really think they nailed the style. I really think that they nailed the style of Mass Effect, because there were definitely things where I'm sorry, I was hearing the sound. Somebody upstairs decides to watch this. And anyway, it was. I mean, there were definitely parts where I was like, oh man, this takes me back to Mass Effect 1. There's some parts that I loved. Like I loved just traveling around in the Nomad. There were some issues kind of I had with like the characters, like for some reason I guess I'm getting old, but I found it really hard to keep track of all the different like races. Like there was the Angara, then there was the cat, and those ones I know, but then there was like the subsets of it, the Angara. These are the terrorist ones, and blah blah blah, and they're not your friends, they hate you, but these ones like you. So, I definitely recommend that, like when you play Mass Effect Andromeda, you play it 1 all the way through, and 2, like don't switch between games. And Mass Effect Andromeda, just stick with it and play all the way through. I didn't complete the game 100%, but I spent maybe 60 hours. And what happened, part of that, the reason why I say you have to play it all the way through is, what happened is, I played through maybe it was like, I played the first like 30 hours of the game, and then I went on vacation. I had to take my grandmother to California, and so it's like a working vacation. But when I came back, I was like, oh, I'm not really in the mood for Mass Effect. was still good. I really enjoyed it. I just didn't feel like it. So I kind of started playing other games, and then I finally went back to Mass Effect Andromeda, and it was just, I was really close to the end, and I didn't know it.
Where the hell did he go?
It feels like it's a game that doesn't really have an ending.
Is he drunk?
And so the ending came up really fast, and then, but I mean overall it was good. The story I thought was good. Some of it's kind of cheesy, where spoilers alert.
Are you freaking kidding me?
One of the characters they introduced you to at the beginning dies in
Where the hell did you go?
I mean, he dies within the first level, and I think it's just like the person's like, oh, you died, but I'm over it. And they still complain about it throughout the game. They're still like, this person died in my life. One, I wouldn't take their job. Two, but more of young Richard. That was good. One of the bad things was, I think it's like harder to romance certain characters. Like I really like Suvi, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and romance her. But I guess, so what happened was I didn't really start romancing her until maybe after 10 hours of playing in the game. And so you really have to start romancing the characters right off from the bat, because a lot of the romance options happen during missions. So even though Suvi wasn't like a character you could take on missions, there were certain missions you had to do where you had to be a certain amount away through like romancing her, and then she'd ask you to do extra things on the mission, and you do them, and then she's your like partner in crime. And so I didn't do it in time, and then I looked it up, and it was just like, you had to do these sort of things before this mission, and then, and then what happened, and I was like, what? So I beat the game, and I didn't, it was funny, I beat the game, and so it kind of seems like, the person, I didn't romance anyone, but it seems like the person I romanced, like, supposedly the most was Cora, and I was just being polite to her, I was like, oh man, you're a sorry commando, you wanted my job, and blah blah blah, and then she took me to our garden, I think it was Eos or something, it wasn't, but, it was supposed to be massive too, I think. So, but overall it's a fun game, and it's only been like 3 or 4 months, and I already want to play through it again. Yeah, it was just, I mean, a lot of people say like, oh, it wasn't that much graphically better than like Mass Effect 3, or it didn't really look next gen, and of course the character animation problems it had in the beginning, but I mean, I feel like it didn't deserve to go the way it went. I mean, I've already seen, like when I bought it, I was like originally going to boycott it, and then I got it for $30, and that was like 2 months after launch. It was already on digital, it was being sold for $30. And so then I've already seen like, it's now an add-on item in Amazon where you can get it for like $10. And it's like, this is a really good game, and a lot of people put a lot of hard work into it. I feel like it deserves to be like $40. $40 for almost a year after launch. So that part's kind of sad. And I'm not excited for Anthem, which kind of makes me even sadder, because it's just like, I want the next Mass Effect Andromeda game. I want to go back into that world. On top of like new songs, Project Andromeda. But yes. And so the fact that they're like, Anthem is going to be a new thing, I'm just like, stop. One, I don't like multiplayer games. I mean, the only reason why I'm playing Destiny is because it's Bungie and I love Bungie games. But I don't like playing multiplayer. I hate having Xbox Live. The only reason why I have Xbox Live is because I did the math, and there was a sale for Xbox Live where you could get it for $14 for 3 months. But then on top of that,
RPG.
there were like 3 games I wanted to get, and they were like more than 50% off if you had Xbox Live. So it was cheaper to get Xbox Live and then buy those games. So that's what I ended up doing. I don't want like another Destiny game. I mean, I think Destiny's good, but it's just I don't want to play with other people. I mean, I love single player. Just want to play with myself. I don't want to have to. And part of it's like you get nervous because, like, when you're playing single player, you have fun. You play it on easy. You don't have to worry about teammates or anything or making a fool out of yourself. And so that's kind of the thing. And when you're playing multiplayer, everyone expects you to play as a team. You have to be the best all the time. So that's kind of the problem. It's just too much pressure. And a lot of people take the game way too seriously. Just trying to the game. But
Emma, Schaefer. Where's Schaefer?
We can't see so.
Nate.
They took Schaefer.
Oh, God. It's because he had the dagger.
I know. Hey.
No time to argue. We gotta go.
All right. Oh, at least scooch over.
Okay.
All right. They must have taken him in the lead car.
We gotta stop him before Lazarevich gets a hold of him.
All right. I have an idea.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm gonna clear the road. Here, take the wheel.
What?
Just take it.
Why didn't you just let me drive in the first place?
I didn't think that far ahead.
Yeah.
Hold it steady.
Okay.
That's good. All right. Here we go. A little closer. There you go.
Hang on! Hang on!
and so
I'm hanging!
I'm kind of talking about console wars and everything, but I kind of feel like the PS4, they were in terms of team. I guess I own the Xbox and I own the PS4.
I gotta
But
get off this.
I mean, there's just a ton more exclusives to the PS4 that